everyone, this is Andee Blacksugar with KMFDM. I'm at the rave in Milwaukee on a blustery autumn Midwestern afternoon, and I'm going to show you my gear that I'm using for this tour. Basically, because I like to travel light, the whole rig is right here in this shot. So I'm going to go through everything piece by piece. It's basically this guitar, which is a Sully Raven that's made of mahogany and maple and ebony. It's got size queen jumbo nickel frets and hip shot tuners and bridge Sully pickups, which I'm very happy with. And I'm going to go through the pedals and stuff, and there's some interesting stuff that I'm doing that's a little bit unorthodox, but it's relatively straightforward. So for 90% of the show, or maybe 95% of the show, I'm using this sound. It's just sort of a crunchy, heavy metal riff delivery machine. And I use a few other sounds which I'll get to, but basically what I'm doing here is I'm going into a few pedals, and then ultimately the Atomic Amplifier 12 is doing all the amp modeling. So as far as the pedal chain, the first thing is this fab flange, which is just for silly stuff. And this Electro-Harmonix pitchfork is a really crucial pedal because it allows me to cover all the tunings that are needed for this show. So, for instance, I need to do a lot of whole step down. What I like about this pedal is it tracks really well even for super notey stuff. So, doing guitar solos and stuff, I can keep it like it handles it. So yeah, I think I have 4 tunings in total for this show, including whole step down, half step down, and whole step up. It's like an F sharp standard. So, in other words, I would have probably have 4 guitars tuned all differently, and then 4 backup guitars, which is not feasible. So with this pedal, I can do the whole show with this guitar. Next up is the Boss Super Shifter, which I'm using for sort of extreme dive bomb. And occasionally subtle things, this kind of. And then finally, in the pedal chain, this is actually an important part of the whole thing, is the Eventide H9. The odd thing that I'm doing with the H9 that nobody else is doing, as far as I'll just demonstrate how I'm using this knob to control parameters within that pedal. So right now I've got like a sort of, like an analog delay. So I'm basically using this as a wet-dry knob for that one. Let's try some other things. Here's a sort of a custom patch that I made that tunes the guitar up and down in fourths, fifths, and octaves. So. Some pretty crazy stuff with that. I'm using it for KMF with this sound. So I'm using the knob to cycle it up through all these intervals from really low and guttural to... Let's see what else I got in here. This is one of my favorites. I call this one Shatter. backwards patch. Basically, I have it set up so it starts out with no delay at all. So this is sort of like a sort of no effect, and then as I roll it in, you start hearing reverse delay, and if I roll it all the way up, it's just reverse. That's the backwards thing, and then I've got this rocket dive bomb thing. So that's just for certain parts in the show where I want to be particularly obnoxious. And then, so finally, let's talk about the amp modeling here in the Amplifier 12. Okay, so this is the main guitar, rhythm guitar sound for the... I sort of have a loud version of that. By the way, that's got a little bit of stereo chorus on it, which is audible in my stereo wedges that I have in front of me. I also have a pair of stereo wedges on stage left, so I can run over there and play on that side of the stage. I have sort of a lead guitar version of this, which is louder and it has delay. I've got this kind of less distorted version of that sound. Sort of a shimmering, clean sound that I showed you before. I'm only using that once in the whole set, which is for Boom-I-A. I've got this wah lead, this sort of auto wah lead guitar sound. Funky thing, which we're using a few times in the set. And that's basically the whole rig. I'm using the Atomic Amplifier box as a backup, which basically has my primary, 95% of the show rhythm guitar sound loaded into there in case something happens, but nothing has happened yet. So that's basically it. This is it. Everything. This is the whole rig. It's me and these things. Somehow we're doing a rock show with all this. Andee Blacksugar signing off.